Howdy, all you delicious people. All of Us Are Dead, Season 1, Episode 5 review. So, the first thing that kind of pops into my brain after this episode is to be over for me is we have gone 2 episodes without showcasing where two women are. And if there's one thing to have kind of teased again for yet another episode, and I'm just like, you know what? Like, this is just so, like, really, like, we're gonna just continue. Like, at least they didn't go in the same direction for a third, or I would have been just like, you know what? I am just not happy about the show. um I liked the things that they were doing with the library in this movie, or this episode. I liked the things that were going on and making it seem like they're reinventing the wheel on a zombie show, which they're really not. But I can like what they're doing with the show, especially in this episode. I can go on uh, and like what they're doing overall for this episode. Really, there's just a lot of dialogue that kind of gets lost on me because it feels like the dialogue is just non not a real non-important factor here for this episode. So we're also to find out from the paramedics and the assemblywoman that there is to be some spot where it seems that people are being, like, examined and quarantined off, which is like, oh, okay. So it seems that there is a actual setup being presented here. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So going into this episode, I would have to say, like, this episode is a positive for what they're doing. This episode has to be like, there are some fun things that they do with this episode, and, like, I'd have to go on and just kind of say that. And really, we of course have at some points where I'm just like, huh? About also other parts of this episode, also. Or, plus, they gave me an update of a certain character that I hold in very high regard called the baby. They gave me an update. Like, are they gonna have the baby just send a tweet out, just be like, "Hey guys, man, this zombie apocalypse, right? Goo goo gaga, you know? Hashtag relatable." So yeah, we get a baby update. So that's great. But again, we still, whatever happened to certain characters, I don't know. I'm just kind of, I'm wanting them to just add more people in here, or kill people off. That seems very weird. It's just like, that makes no sense. It's like, you want more people in this thing, or you want them to all be dead. Like, well, yeah, I want there to be more stories, but I want there to be more stories from the city perspective. Like, there's only so much that I can take that is covered in this school. That's the thing that I actually liked about other episodes, where we have, like, Chung Sung's mother and stuff like that. I liked those city episodes. Uh, I didn't like, of course, the orange gibberish thing. That was stupid. Um, but I couldn't like uh or I kind of wish that they would go on and do like a city thing, but I feel that they're just trying to just stay at the school thing because the school thing is to be so much more different, and there's so much things that they can go on and do in that compared to like if they go on and just have all the kids just go on home and they have to tell so many different separate stories that like it'll get confusing, and a lot of people are like, well, hey, I I want so and so character to get covered, and like it's just annoying that this person is to not get covered. So with that said, yeah, like that's all that I want to just say about this episode or just the show so far is as it's a positive, but they're not in reinventing any wheels for the show. They're just not. You can't. So with that said, let's go out of our way to go in that double five time territory. Let's just go into this thing called Spoiler Time. It's about that time I'm going to spoil this episode. I just want to make something abundantly clear. Um, I was trying to watch this episode and I was honking out during it. Um, so kind of re fast track and go on and see what all I missed because I was like, man, I'm just so tired. There's only uh, there's only so much time and ring of hours or whatever that can go on and do so many things, and then I'm just like, okay, like body's telling me to kind of call it a day. So for those of you wanting to understand or get into Chong Song's fate with that whole blade being chucked, I'm like, this guy is not gonna die because obviously I've seen him in other photos doing other things that I haven't seen yet. So this guy obviously is not dead. So at this point, like I'm just gonna go by like, hey, if I haven't seen this photo of this character through this show, then he's still alive. So this show needs to knock off doing that bullshit because obviously I can just go on and just be like, dude, he's gonna still be alive because of this photo, because of this thing, because of that thing that I haven't seen in this show yet. So obviously he should be living past XYZ point. I don't really understand why like they would go on and try to cliffhanger people on people's deaths when it's just like, I'm sorry, you can probably get screenshots to just prove how long this guy's going to last for. But it's whatever. So Chong Song is going on, and he is to be who he is to be alive, and so we of course have it where Chung Sung is being chased by, of course, this guy who's In-soo or In-soo, and we have them kind of going and kind of doing this balancing act on these bookshelves while these zombies come in, and so they're fighting it out here, and Yu is trying to go and get this cell phone away from Shang Tsung, and Shang Tsung goes on and takes his cell phone and smashes it into this guy's eye, and is to go on and have Shang Tsung go on and be eaten by these zombies, and we're thinking like, oh, well, this guy's gonna be dead, and we're finally gonna have Cafeteria Boy that's finally going to be dead here, and we don't have to see him again. Come to find out in the later part of this episode, we have that one moment where it's like, hey, we're being inventive. And I'm like, not really. But hey, like, it's good what they're doing in the show, but it was built up as this big, huge event thing. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I've seen too many zombie shows to just say that this isn't like reinventing a wheel. Because we go on and supposedly you is to kind of wake up after being bitten, and he is to have consciousness. He, of course, is to be able to still have his brain function and still be a normal person while also still being a zombie. So Mr. Lee goes on and is to say that at some point we could have a whole brand new whole version of human if uh, we go on and we have it to where one guy is to kind of keep, or one person really, is to keep their consciousness, which is basically mean that they're still going to be back to the same old, but they're still also a zombie. So we have you going on at the end of this who is shouting at these zombies, and they don't, like, the zombies don't know where to go, because of course we have it where they're not attacking this guy, and so we of course have you who goes and tosses on this coat as we kind of see here, and he's like, aha, like, I can go on and use these things to my benefit, and if I want I can go and murder and kill everybody, because why not? So let's now pull back a little bit here. So we have, of course, the kids that are going on, and we have, of course, the archery team that is finally going through and starting to make their way through this school. And so, of course, we still have that romantic tension, seemingly between Ha-Saru-ri and, of course, Yi-hyun, Same or Seam. Not quite sure exactly the pronunciation of that. And so we have this girl who's consistently going on and telling this archer girl, blah, 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 or saying about this archery girl. It's like, yeah, she's just my type. And I'm like, do we have to just keep on with the tension here? I guess whatever. Like this, like it doesn't really matter that you're going on and like it's either lock lips with the girl or like come on, like we're wasting valuable time here. So we're going on and having these guys go through this school to go in the nurse's office. And so we find out that the government is stepping in, and they're deciding that since a number of people could be delivering false information, false reports, and whatever, we can have people that are trying to seek financial gain by either going and doing the orange gibberish thing, which is go on and try to like make money off the fact that he is going on and being in this dangerous environment, and he's getting pressured to do any number of things. So that should be stopped. Uh, we go on and we have, of course, a number of people that are all making the same call about them being zombie attacked and whatever. And so it's like the fire and the police and whatever, they can't handle all these calls. And plus also, like, it seems that any of these kind of places are all not getting the right call that they are to be able to do. So the government or the military steps in, is like, hey, we're killing all phones and internet and whatever. So also we have the archery girl who's have this phone here, and she's trying to call somebody, and the phone goes dead, and they're like, oh crap. So we have our characters here going and trying to get into the internet, and the internet's not working. So like, oh crap. So not as if like it doesn't really matter anyways, because they couldn't. They've already called. They've already called. Or what difference is it gonna make? What difference does it make? Like, man, they're bringing up this phone so often, and like, hey man, like it seems like their survival is gonna be based on this phone. It's like, no, it's not. Really, it's all gonna matter with either some kid's parents that's finally going to want to get in here and want to rescue their own kid, which that'll probably be the paramedic guy desperately wanting to save his kid. That's the only way these kids will get out. Or it'll probably come from some archery class, having the archery class needing to go on and get extra bows, or bows extra arrows, because like it seems like the girl is starting to run out of arrows already. I'm like, well, yeah, like think it through. Like at some point, like if you just go through and just shoot all these zombies and then don't take the arrows back out, that's what's gonna happen. So so we go on and we have the paramedic, Anjo's dad, who goes on and is to be helicoptered out of where he is at to go to this prison where we find out that they are quarantining people. And so the assemblywoman is to kind of want to go on and talk to people and figure out what's all going on. And so, like, well, sorry, you're gonna have to get examined first to make sure that you're not infected. And so the assemblywoman's like, well, uh, like that seems great and all. Like I definitely would like be okay with being examined, but like still, like I want to go and talk to somebody. They're like, no, not until you get examined. Like it's a whole rule. So we go on. We have these characters who are all forced to go into this one room, and we of course have these guys complaining about the accommodations, and they're like, hey, like we have people like sleeping on like mattresses that are like basically like people are laying on concrete block, and with these mattresses, and like you're complaining like you freaking like you don't have it as rough as other people. So it seems like these people are probably not going to last very long in this area they're in. So, or maybe they would probably go on and probably regret even going to this place, because it's like, dude, like freaking, I want to have my bed, I want to sleep in a comfortable place, and this doesn't seem all that comfortable. Safe enough. So we go on and we have the students that is going and using this drone thing, and immediately a lot of people are like, ooh, drones, ooh, that hasn't rarely happened in a zombie thing. And I'm like, yeah, it hasn't, because look at like the zombie movie #Alive, where I'm assuming what they're gonna do is they're gonna probably take a drone and maybe give people stuff, like send them food, like deliver them things if they can't go themselves, because that's what hashtag alive did. And so I'm like, well, like a drone isn't exactly really all that inventive in a zombie show or just a movie or show in general. It seems like a lot of people are going and using drones now to do something different in anything that they're doing. Because if anything, you gotta figure out one little tiny thing to seem to be different. But we go on here and we have a bunch of camera shots showcasing where all these zombies are. It's like, man, wouldn't that have been cool if they could have easily figured out a way to, of course, get out of here, or figure out a way to have this whole drone thing mean anything. Like, one, going and finding every single character that I haven't seen yet, or two, going on and using this drone to have them need to go on a mission to go and find XYZ thing because that'll save them in the zombie apocalypse. Or like for example, like it would have been cool if this drone would have revealed that there had been a number of weapons in a certain specific location. Then it'd be like, oh, that gives them a mission to do, that gives them a thing to get out of the school. But I really want there to be like a part of this where these students just decide that they need to go and just clean up their school. They finally decide it's like, hey, we're going to take the fight to these zombies and we're going to start thinning out the herd, so to speak. So that way, instead of us consistently living in fear of whenever these zombies are going to come and get us, like, how about instead we go on and take the fight to these zombies so we can clean out this whole entire school? So that way we'll definitely know that the only zombies that are really left are to be the ones outside. And we can better deal with those. Yeah, so. Excuse me. So we go on and we of course have Bear Sue and Anjo kind of talking, and it seems that Bear Sue is talking to Anjo and kind of curious where Anjo's interest is, because I guess it's no longer on Bear Sue, and it seems that Anjo cares more about Chung Song, hoping that he's still alive. So once Angzhou is to find out that Chung Song is to still be alive, as Berisu is to come back to this group and realize, like, yeah, sorry guys, uh, like I'm sorry I came alone, uh, but like Berisu like only was able to get to where he could get to, and so like he was better off trying to do that on his own than trying to like do it with more people, because that eventually have more zombies involved. So yeah, so with that said, yeah, that kind of covers most of this episode. And yeah, very little dialogue for me. Oh, the baby, we go and we have certain random scenes kind of showcasing and kind of giving updates on things. So we have it where, of course, the one girl who is to give pregnant to this baby is now just tie herself to this door, and she of course is to be a zombie now. And we just have this baby just still chilling it out, just like, So we have the update of that. I'm like, yeah, like this baby is gonna survive way better than anybody else is. Like we're just gonna have it to where it's just this baby left in the world, and and that'll be cool. So we go on, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I feel that I need to 100% update. Oh, we of course have uh Min UG that is still going on and banging all these cell phones, because I don't know if she's like a zombie with a consciousness or not, or whatever. I guess she's still just banging away at these cell phones because she's freaking crazy. So I guess Kim Choi So Kim, the other guy that was on the rooftop, I guess he's just chillaxing on the rooftop, and I guess he doesn't care to do much else. Uh, Sadly enough. But yeah, like I think that kind of covers everything. We have Chung Sung when the drone was coming in. They're hoping that they could like talk to Chung Sung, and the guy who has the drone is saying like you can't talk to him. Like there is no microphone where you can talk to him, and they're still trying to anyways. But they're just glad that he's still alive. So they're going on and having, of course, this drone kind of come in, and they're kind of hoping that uh, Chung Sung could go and see this drone and uh, kind of go on, and they're probably going to have this drone maybe come back and probably kind of look around here at some point, because I'm assuming that the drone probably isn't dead. It seems like the drone is dead. But so we have one student who's to realize that her parents, I guess, were to be outside of the school, and they, of course, are dead because she recognizes the vehicle. Because I guess there's so many different vehicles that she can tell specifically her parents' vehicle, and she realizes that her parents is dead. Sadly enough, so it would have been interesting to have uh, Chang's if Chang Song would have been back with the group to be like flying around with this drone, and Chung Song would have found out that his mother would have been dead. That would have sucked. Uh, but anyways, so we go further on, and we just have characters who are just kind of being comforted and whatever. But yeah, other than that, like there isn't anything that kind of pops to mind that is to just kind of stand out for this episode. Um, because I feel like I kind of covered the big points, which is to be the drone thing, and then the human consciousness zombie that is to kind of showcase itself by the end of this episode. Still, like the human thing, like I feel like Sweet Home had gone on done that. I feel like what is that, zombie or God, what was the not World War Z, but the God, what was the one sci-fi zombie show that I'm trying to think of the title, and I know I've said it in Day of the Dead before. Um, it's like uh, God, because I know they went on and uh, and Z's in the title. I know that, but we of course have one zombie in that show. Uh, that was to eventually have his own consciousness, and he was kind of going around with the people and he was helping them out. So uh, was it Daisy? No, it was something like that. It was like some kind of goofy title, and at some point I'll eventually say what the heck that is at some point. Maybe on the next review, I'll probably realize what the name of that was. Um, so yeah, so I think everything else is technically covered in here. Let me know in the comments below if I forgot something, because I'm sure I probably did. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this show so far. Um, yeah, like I still feel good things about the show. There's a lot of potential here. Um, it's great that they're doing this big of a scale of a show. Um, the only probably downside of this is like it's a zombie show, so like it feels that you're always kind of painting yourself in a corner, and you're always having to second guess whatever you're doing because you're immediately just kind of looking over your shoulder to just see like, well, is someone else going on? Has someone else gone on and done this a million times? And am I just going on and just uh, like gonna have a lot of people going on and say it's like, well, like this isn't breaking any new ground, and people aren't gonna be satisfied just because like uh, recently this show isn't like bending over backwards in any way to just put like something that's like, oh, this is so fresh, but at least it's better than some other zombie shows at the end of the day. uh and so I'm still kind of happy about the show. I don't know, I also like, I wish the dialogue really mattered in this show, because I don't feel like it ever really is. Um, but we'll kind of see how the next episodes are to play out, because without a doubt, I want them to just kind of go on, and like I want everybody to like really have an active story. Like I don't want everybody to just kind of like just sit around and just kind of like, okay, we're still here for the X, like we're now in day 2 and we're just still here. Like I really want them to have like missions, or I really want them to go on and have like them try to escape, because no one, like we have to where these guys are really relying on the fact that they're hoping that someone's going to come for them. I'm like, why not just get freaking out of there? Go on and figure out a way to, like, the thing that I thought was cool was, I think I saw in some part of a trailer where we have like these guys that are kind of wearing this like this sporting equipment. I'm like, oh my god, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Because very rare amounts of movies that would go on and do it do stuff like that. Because we had like the Ving Rhames movie, uh, that of course was to be like called Zombie Apocalypse, and they of course had these catchers, uh, catcher's clothes on, and like a bunch of people had like certain kind of like football gear on and whatever. And so that seemed to be very like zombie strategic kind of a film. And like the guy from like the crab man from My Name is Earl was also in that zombie apocalypse movie. So yeah. So I'm waiting to get to more exciting episodes. I'm waiting for them to kind of do something a lot more fun than what we were really delivered in this episode. Because I feel like we're just kind of like still slow to the crawl, and I want there to like be more interesting things going on here. or feel like I'm still like, when are they gonna run out of food? When are they gonna have to forcibly need to go? Because now we're in like day two, and immediately I'm thinking like, when are they gonna run out of food? When are they gonna go on and desperately think that they'll need to go and like try to go to the cafeteria or try to go to find a vending machine somewhere? That's what I would go on and do. I would just break into a vending machine and just steal all the in that vending machine so I can be like, well, this is my meal for the next X number of days. But it doesn't seem like we're doing much of that. But yeah, but that kind of feels like the one like Jurassic Park movie where we had like Sam Neill and the guy is just like breaking into the one vending machine and like just grabbing all the stuff, and we have the one guy who tries to break into his vending machine and he just hurts his leg while doing it. So yeah. So with that said, I think I'm just gonna get out of here. Like, you know what? I really love a zombie show if it's done the right way, and I'm kind of happy that I feel like this episode is doing like a zombie show the right way. And that is to probably be the highest praise that I can give this show. Is it's like it's doing a zombie show the right way. It's a little slow. It's a little just like I want them to have like I want there to be more excitement. I want there to be a reason for them to not just be still stuck in one room for X number of episodes. Like this just kind of seems like I wish we can continue to just push these characters, and it feels like we aren't. Hence why I would have like Dawn of the Dead that would consistently be like, well, hey, like you're in a mall, great, but that's not enough because eventually these zombies are going to try to break through this mall and try to get at you. So, like, you're only going to be able to stay at this mall for so long. So, with that said, I think I'm going to get out of here. Bye, buddy. Bye, buddy.